In President Trump's mind, being charged with more crimes may actually boost his support and help him get re-elected to the White House. He said as much after he appeared in court in Washington 12 days ago. He boasted then that he needed one more indictment to win the election. Well, now he's got his wish, and this one is likely to be televised. He's been charged in Georgia with trying to overthrow the result of the presidential vote there in 2020. Remember the phone calls asking a Georgia official to find him 11,000 more votes? Well, under laws meant to rid Georgia of mafia mobs, Mr. Trump has now been charged along with 18 of his henchmen and women, and this one has serious implications because if he is found guilty, he can't pardon himself even if he returns to the White House.
By the way, there's no way we lost Georgia. There's no way.
Trump always had Georgia on his mind.
In Georgia, I won by a lot.
For months after it was confirmed he narrowly lost the state.
It's also clear that we have won Georgia.
Donald J. Trump repeated the lie that he'd won.
I challenged the election in Georgia, which I have every right to do, which I was right about, frankly.
But it wasn't just these false claims which have now resulted in a fourth criminal indictment. According to prosecutors, there was a conspiracy to steal the result. Late last night, after 2.5 years of investigations, the consequences were condensed into 98 pages. A dossier of dodginess put before a judge who, with the stroke of his pen, started what will be one of the most consequential trials in US history. It will be televised, it will be historic, and it may decide not just the election, but the entire future of America.
The indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
Donald Trump has been charged under state racketeering laws usually used to prosecute organised crime. The 98-page indictment sets out a complex conspiracy to overturn the election results in Georgia by committing theft, computer trespass, forgery of documents and perjury, as well as multiple lies set out in the 41 counts. It accuses not only Donald Trump but 18 others, including his then Chief of Staff Mark Meadows and former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, as well as several lawyers and Trump loyalists. Today, Trump's press secretary echoed his angry reaction to the charges.
It's really an egregious case of prosecutorial misconduct, something we've never seen in our country. This was a show me the man, I'll show you the crime, which is what they've been doing against President Trump, harassing him, his campaign, his family for 8 years now.
The election race in Georgia was among the tightest in the country. Biden won by less than 1/4%. But President Trump refused to accept the result, making this now infamous 67-minute call to the man in charge of Georgia's voting system, demanding more votes were found for him.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
It wasn't just one phone call. Richard Barron was the lead election official, subjected to a torrent of threats from the public and huge pressure from local Republican politicians.
It's really sickening that you have somebody that can't accept the fact that he lost an election and that he tried to do whatever he could to overturn the results. And so if he's been indicted, and he deserves it.
The case also centres on this alleged breach of election security in Coffee County, Georgia. Local Republican leader Kathy Latham allowed computer experts and Trump operatives into a secure voting area to interfere with election systems, even taking a selfie with them. She was one of the people who posed as a fake elector, trying to falsely certify the result for Donald Trump, a crime for which she's now been indicted. Donald Trump may think the best way to make all this go away is to win next year. But even as president, he couldn't pardon himself of these state crimes, which would carry a minimum 5-year sentence. Dan Rivers, News at 10, Washington.